I like Christmas. I like Christmas movies, but I also actually like Christmas horror movies. And I sort of like doing a review of one every year, and it usually never works out that I actually get to do that anymore just because of time. But I figured, why not do one of my favorite horror movie shorts, and that would be Treevenge. Now, I remember when this came out because everyone was like, holy crap, what the hell is this? Basically, it is about if Christmas trees were sentient, basically the whole Christmas tree experience from their perspective as they're ripped away from their families, chopped down, taken into people's homes, and then dressed up with ornaments, and how horrifying that would be. And then eventually the trees all rise up, kind of unorganizedly, but you sort of ignore that because it's silly, fight the humans and start killing them because they have, destroyed their lives, and like kind of push them into corners of buildings and, dress them up with all these decorations and so forth. This was directed by Jason Eisner, who's the director of Hobo and the Shotgun, which was part of a contest to play in Grindhouse. When I saw Grindhouse, I saw it twice actually. It did not play with the movie when I saw it, but I did see the film version of Hobo with the Shotgun. Between the short and the film, Treevenge came out in 2008. It was a honorable mention at Sundance Film Festival, won a lot of horror film festival awards, and actually it's one thing I like about Jason Eisner is he's very much a high concept guy who you can tell knows horror movies, knows cult stuff, knows Grindhouse. I think that's the most interesting thing about him as a filmmaker is he definitely knows what he's playing with every bit. And with Treevenge, it's like he definitely had a cool concept. Same with Hobo with the Shotgun. He has like a cool enough of like a Grindhouse concept. He knows he can have a movie. This one starts with the Cannibal Holocaust music, actually, which is really funny. And Jonathan Torres, who's more known, I guess, for Trailer Park Boys, is like the dad in it. The tree thing, they're like fighting, they're talking, and they do all this like kind of puppetry with the trees, which is very convincing because you actually sort of believe the trees moving and stuff. It doesn't look it's ridiculous, but it doesn't look too fake. And they have this sort of like Ewok-y kind of like cutesy sort of talking throughout it that, isn't like an audible language that I'm aware of. It kind of like sells the whole thing. They have subtitles like, why are you doing this to me, and things like that. I often wonder, the interesting thing about Treevenge is you're never sure if the people are aware the trees are sentient. And that's sort of one of the things I was thinking about watching. It was like, so like, is it like where we are now and we do these things to trees and that's weird and stuff, even though I love Christmas trees and we're actually getting one tomorrow, which is like super weird. I decided to do this today, but it'd be weirder if I did it in front of the Christmas tree and then the Christmas tree attacked me. Damn, I should have thought of that. Anyway, you're never sure, like they don't like hit the trees when they're making noise or go shut up or something like that. So to our understanding, like, I guess we can't hear the trees, and like this is in the world of all those things. So it's definitely ridiculous, and the violence in it is really gross and over the top. It gets really bloody and gory. Like this family's celebrating Christmas, and then suddenly like this girl is like, I got a doll, and then the tree like attacks her and like starts like ripping her apart. I mean, it just like starts attacking family members and like throws the tree into the dad's throat. And I think the part where that's really gory and gross, where the tree kind of goes through this couple who's like having sex, and like the tree like gets its branch through the girl's up her mouth and through her eye, and then connects to the guy, and they kind of like the tree mushes their dead bloody faces together as like a weird Lady and the Tramp kiss thing, which that was really horrific, but I appreciate the originality. This is a really crazy, gross, bloody, like you can tell this guy likes horror movies. He wants to do a gory, bloody movie, and he very much succeeds. I think this is one of the most craziest Christmas horror films, because most of them are like, what if Santa Claus would attack, or what if there was a toy that attacks and stuff. This is the only one, to my understanding, it was like, what if Christmas trees attack? And he's a cool spin on it. It's an interesting idea. We don't think about that stuff enough. We more think about like what they're doing for us, not what we're doing to the trees, which is a good concept for a horror movie. I think a good horror movie and a good movie sometimes notices something that is sort of unsaid that they can kind of exploit and do an interesting thing with. And that's what I think Treevenge does very well. And what makes it like most of the Christmas horror things, you have to go, oh, it's the Santa Claus thing, but it's a little difference. This is the difference because they made trees look like Christmas trees look like they were sentient, and then they came back and attacked. It is not the greatest narrative because There's some things that aren't explained. Most of the characters aren't very defined. They're just like silly grindhouse kind of characters. But if you look at the guise of what this is, it works really well in this disgusting, weird, strange-ass film short. And it seems like they're having a lot of fun making it. Maybe it does go on too long. Maybe it's a little gross and disturbing. But I kind of like it for being its own unique kind of like Christmas tree, awful, bloody gore kind of horror movie. And that's, I think, pretty cool. I don't think I've ever really forgotten it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, man, that is definitely unique. I don't like movies that are unique just for unique sake, but I do think Treevenge is unique enough that it is definitely memorable, and everyone I know who's seen it usually goes, oh yeah, I've seen that one. And it's always that kind of reaction, and it's like as good as that kind of reaction alone. I don't watch it every year. I watch it every couple of years just because it never really got out of my mind the idea that a Christmas tree could get its revenge on you and finally have its Treevenge.